Okay, and with that, we're almost exhausted. And I've hardly touched the boss. Wow. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and welcome to my last playthrough of Astro Knights Eternity, at least for a little while, because we will be finishing up the expedition. The expedition that is included in the game today with battle number 4. So, now you see that we still have a lot of stuff set up here. The reason for that is that I took a few days off work just to be able to record like all 4 games. It's just easier for me if I'm able to do that like within a few days, like directly like next to each other, instead of spacing that out. Because this way I'm like in the game immediately and I can give you like pretty much the best viewing experience, right? So that's why everything is already still set up from the last video. What I will do today is the following. First of all, we will read like through the story, like for the last fight. Then we will take a look at everything that we unlocked, the new boss, I think, a new character, I guess. I don't know what we will unlock, but things like that. And then I will like sleeve all the cards, set everything up and stuff. And after that, we will then start playing. So, 2 things. First of all, I have included timestamps here in this video, so you can jump to the part that interests you the most. Of course, bonus points as usual if you watch the entire video. Also, if you would like to exactly see how the game is played, like have a good explanation of that, I suggest you watch the first video in this small series here. Because of course you will get a gist of how the game plays today, but I will not go into detail with all the rules, right? Because I already did that in the first video. Now I'll have a cup of tea and then we can get started. There we go. In the last few 3 videos, I've also like drank tea, of course, while playing, but somehow I didn't capture it on camera. I don't know what I did there. But yeah. Alright, so let's first take a look at the story for pre-fight 4 down here, which is quite long, but it's okay. I knew your predecessors well, says Eternity, its voice seeming to bubble directly into Caleb's consciousness and wrap around his brain. One look around at his crew says they're hearing it too. Although I hesitate to truly name you their successors, considering the distinct gap in lineage. Who are you? Tsana calls out, resting her hand lightly on the handle of one of her guns. Who is a complex question. What I am would be a delicate one. Perhaps you'd be more interested in why I am. Or how. Cut the riddles, Caleb snaps. Why have you kidnapped us? No one is kidnapped. Eternity's massive hands close slightly around the ship, each finger rising like a towering obelisk. I merely suspended you here so that we could have a little discussion. What do you want to speak about, Eternity? Z.A.K asks, stepping calmly to the front of the group. We cannot be suspended here indefinitely. Z.A.K. Eternity's eyes turn to fixate on the robot, each one like a dying star flickering in and out. You, I trusted. You were the best of them, the best of the Astro Knights, the truest and most heartfelt protectors of the universe. Why have you now passed their torch onto this rabble? I, who watch all, have seen them, wretched creatures scurrying about, sifting through the wreckage of other people's misfortune. These are no Astro Knights, and your poor judgment calls you into question as well. I disagree. Z.A.K tips up their chin defiantly. These people are my friends. I have fought beside them. I know their good hearts. They are worthy defenders of the galaxy. They are heroes. They are nothing. Caleb grabs his ears against the ringing voice cutting through his head. The pain makes his knees tremble and he nearly collapses to the ground under the weight of it. The only one who seems unaffected is Z.A.K, who takes another step forward as if they could shield the others behind them. They are worthy, Z.A.K insists. I know them. Eternity stares Z.A.K down with the gravity of a neutron star. Caleb can feel the bobcat itself creaking under the force rippling towards it, but still Z.A.K stands firm. The Astro Knights were the greatest mortals to ever live, Eternity booms, its voice ricocheting. Handpicked because of their accolades, the lives they saved, the way they dedicated themselves to the betterment of the entire universe. And you claim that these individuals that you merely stumbled across in your travels are worthy of their legacy? I do, Z.A.K answers without hesitation. Z.A.K, no! Caleb tries to interject, but Z.A.K doesn't turn around. Then I propose a test. Eternity's hand spreads wide, whipping the bobcat around with a sudden motion. To prove the worth of these so-called Astro Knights, you will see Z.A.K. that their models are not pure. With their backs against the wall, they will only save themselves. Right. That means we're probably fighting Eternity. Looking forward to seeing how Eternity looks like, because I think it wasn't, you couldn't see it on the cover, I think. So yeah. So we will be able to open envelope 4. So let me get this out here. There we go. So let's hope that we get a new hero. But oh, it doesn't look like it. I think we actually don't get a new hero. Well, it makes sense for the story here, right? So we don't need that for now. Let me put that aside. All right. So let's take not a look at the hero first. Let's take a look at the Homeworld, which is now the Bobcat. Very cool. That's actually our ship. It has the ability activate during any player's main phase. Any player returns a hand from their discard pile to their hand. Any player equips a weapon regardless of slots. Okay, that could be quite strong actually. Very cool. And then we have the boss, Eternity. Oh, that one looks cool here. This looks much cooler than this image. I wish they would have switched that. Eternity. Okay, so let's see. Scouting report. I have no information in my databanks about this entity, but its energy levels are off the charts. You're lucky you don't have to fight this thing. But even if this is just a test, it's a test you can't afford to take lightly. Eternity is beaming dilemmas directly into your heads to see how you'll react under pressure. Remember that this isn't a test you're facing alone. Rely on your teammates, which I don't have. Work together to determine who is prepared to take more dilemmas and figure out which option is the best in the moment to ensure later victory. Struggling through a dilemma is time-consuming and will disrupt your plans, keeping you from reaching your full potential when you face them. You are the Astro Knights, honest and good-hearted. You mustn't fear the corruption that Eternity claims to see in you. Any decision could be right if it helps your friends, even if it requires a personal sacrifice. Okay, good. Okay, and then we have these here, level 2 and 3. So we have more health and more on dilemmas, whatever dilemmas do. Okay, so they kind of slow us down maybe. And then we have like this here. This is like the team attack. I don't quite know how these work. I will check that out in just a moment. That is something that we get for our 4th battle. So it's kind of cool. Like each battle we get like more stuff. It's similar in Aeon's End. But yeah, it's kind of cool that we get all of that stuff. And then let's take a look at the cards here to see what we get here. Will mostly be boss cards probably. Okay, so we have dilemmas here. These are the dilemmas that we will put into I think in our deck, and we always have to choose things. Lose a slot, power up twice, and advance your corruption twice. Interesting. Okay, so we get like lots of these things, and then these are all the boss cards. Yeah, okay. Creeping Guild. Okay, strike, minion. All right. Yeah, it's almost like it's like one more strike than minions. Okay, and we put them all into the start deck. Not all of them, no. Some of them will be put in the discard pile for first. Okay, so that's all we have. So what I will do now is I will just leave everything and set up the game for battle number 4. Right, and that is now the setup of the game. I hope I haven't missed anything. So we didn't receive a new hero, so I just took one of the other available ones. There are even more than the ones that I mentioned in the story, right? Because I got like the entire thing on Kickstarter with like all the promos and expansion or whatever that is in there. So there are like a lot more heroes, right? I could play the expedition at least another 1 or 2 times to show you all the heroes. But I thought I would take Z.A.K, which is like, or Z.A.K, I don't know how you would actually pronounce him, because he's like an integral part of that expedition story, right? So that's why I took him. He does, let me just read you his biography quickly. Name Z.A.K, designation sniper, planet of origin Quares, that's also like I think a homeworld that we can protect. Specialty, early damage and late damage. Z.A.K served the Astro Knights for decades, lending their bravery and strength to the key team of cosmic superheroes and saving countless worlds. The Astro Knights became Z.A.K's family, the only family they'd ever known. Unfortunately, in spite of being restored to working order, Z.A.K's memory banks contain no record of what happened to their old team or how they and the Athena came to be wrecked on Direth. All they know is that centuries have passed, meaning their mortal friends must be long gone. But the world needs these star cores in Z.A.K's possession, and Z.A.K's new friends will certainly need their leadership. Exactly. So, there are additional tools here. We have these scope tokens. I'll just leave them there. And these scope tokens I can distribute, or I can get them with like powering up here, right? When I'm completely powered up and using my ability, then I will gain the scope token, and that means like the first weapon I attack with each turn will deal one additional damage per scope tokens I have. So I can like do more and more damage over time. And what I can do if I have 4 scope tokens, like the 5th time I activate this ability, I can do like 15 damage flat. And that is pretty nice. So that's why I thought like Z.A.K or Z.A.K might be a pretty cool hero to play. We also have now this black token in here. That is the corruption marker. And there are ways that we can raise the corruption, which is not good, because whenever, like the corruption, I think you cannot lower it. I don't think so, at least. So as soon as the health reaches the corruption marker, then we are exhausted, so we have like less health. And also, or the other way around, if I actually do it the other way, if the corruption marker reaches the health marker in a movement, then we immediately are out of the game. So we need to balance that carefully for eternity. Also, we have these dilemmas. I don't quite know where we get them. Probably with these cards here. And these like make specific choices. And the last thing we have is that team attack. There are 3 things. I chose like one of the 3 team attacks available, and there are even more in the promos and expansion. And there are like 3 things that I can like do, so to speak, like bad things. And if I'm able to do those, like if I have like activated all of them, then I can get that reward, which is like deal 12 damage instantly. So as a combination with this one and that one here, so I might be able to like dish out a lot of damage again versus Eternity, who has like 60 health again. We only have 28. But I can only do like one of these things like per turn. The last one says discard a fuel that costs 4 fuel or more. Then we can power down twice, which is pretty bad as well. And discard a card that costs 5 or more. There was one that I liked more, like that we can instantly power up as a reward, but that is, as a solo player, that is not very good. That is really good if you play with 4 players and you can like power up like all 4 at the same time. Like solo, this is like a lot harder here to get, right? Because I have to do everything. We cannot distribute that between players. So yeah, let's see how that team attack actually works solo. I have no idea. All right, with that, we can now finally start. So let's see who starts. We start. Okay. So, quick, let's just plan a little bit. So I definitely want to power up a lot. And I think weapons are important. Powering up is more important, I think. But still, we need weapons to, of course, deal damage, right? So that's what I will try to do. I might also want to get a few slots, because maybe the dilemmas say lose that many slots, so we could actually do that, right? So I want to have a bit of everything, but mostly I want to power up. Okay, so I have 4 fuel. If you have 1 power or less, power up. Yes, that is nice. Oh, that is nice. Okay, so I will equip that one here. Then I have 4 fuel. There is something, discard fuel that costs 4 or more. That would be that one here. It is quite expensive for what it does, but we will have to discard something like that at some point. So I think I will get that actually, right, for now. And so we can like do this one later there. And also we can power up once. All right, so that was our first turn. Quite uneventful, but there we go. So we deal 1 damage to Eternity. And I don't think we kill Eternity. This is like a test, right? Like when we have dealt 60 damage, and Eternity probably will say something like, oh, you passed the test. I don't know. But I guess. So let's equip that one here. And then we have our 4 power cores here. Like 4 fuel again. I definitely want like some damage cards, but this one isn't great. This one would be much better, but we would need one more One more for that. So, but I will still spend the 4 to get an attack card, but because we need some. We just need to do some damage. So, yeah. Okay, so let's discard all of those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw back up. And there we go, boss turn. Okay, so nothing to activate. Let's do that here. That's a strike. Any player places a dilemma on the bottom of their deck. Okay, we'll do so. The Homeworld suffers 2 damage. Alright. Okay. These dilemmas, like whenever I draw dilemmas, I have to resolve them immediately at the beginning of my turn, right? That is very important. Okay, boss turn again. Okay. A minion, the Doubt Weaver. Activate, any player places a dilemma on top of the deck. Okay, interesting. So that one has 5 health. Okay, I don't know how bad the dilemmas are yet, so I guess I don't know if I will attack them yet. Okay, so we do deal 1 damage. I will deal that to Eternity, I guess, for now, because I don't know how bad like the Doubt Weaver like will do all of that. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I have 6 fuel. That is pretty nice. I could do this one, but this one would also be quite nice. This one would be amazing, but I don't have enough for that. Enough fuel. 6. Okay, you know what? What I actually might do is get that. Like get the worst card for now for 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I will also get that one for 2 here. Let me do it like this. Okay, and then also I can gain another power, which is good. Okay, I think I will do it like this. So I will put these there and these on top. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then let's shuffle these here again and see whose turn it is. Okay. It is our turn. Alright, so we don't do any damage. I can equip at least 1 card. I don't have enough slots for another one, so I will buy a slot. There we go. Okay, so powering up twice more would be nice. Quite soon. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, there's a dilemma. So let's see what that does. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out the dilemmas because I don't know those yet. Alright, so let's do that. There we go. Will you surrender to greed? I don't think so. Choose one of the following. Suffer 1 damage or gain a card that costs 5 or less from the supply but advance the corruption 3 times. No. No, I will definitely suffer damage. And then we put this at the bottom of the dilemma deck. Okay. Well, okay. That is interesting. So, I will do 2 damage and then 2 damage to a minion and then another 1 damage. And that would mean that I could do like 5 damage to that minion immediately. I think that is a good thing. That's a good idea, I think. So, then I will equip these 2 here. Like that. And I have 3 fuel. I will use 2 to power up, and the other one I will just discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Also, I want that relay dagger as soon as possible. Discard a fuel that costs 4 or more. I can do that next turn. Exactly. Power down twice. Oh man. Discard a card that costs 5 or more. Okay, let's see what we can do there. So it's the boss's turn, nothing to activate. So Eternity will put another minion into play. And that minion says, any player places a dilemma on the bottom of the deck and suffers 1 damage. Okay, that's good to know. I don't know, I might want to kill that one. Okay, so then it is our turn. We would do 2, 3 damage. I will do that 3 damage for now to Eternity, I think. These dilemmas are still fine, but I want to get some damage in for Eternity. So these, also the Homeworld powers up 1. because of that card here. So I will discard this fuel here, because then I have done this one. That's nice. And then I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4. I will do the following. I will use... Oh, I forgot to turn all of those over. So, what I will do, I will use these 2 to power up. Then I will use my ability to gain a scope token. So now we do +1 damage on our first attack. And then I will use these 2 to power up again. And that one says if I have 1 power less, I power up again. So that is pretty nice. We did a lot of powering up. Also, I could put those in a different order, which I will do like this. Okay. I think that wasn't a bad turn. So I'm like preparing for like doing more damage. Okay. So then it's the boss's turn, right? Yeah. So we take a dilemma, put it at the bottom of our deck, and also receive 1 damage. Then we draw another card. Forgotten Memory, strike. Shuffle the dilemma deck. Okay. I mean, there is only, like, I only put like 1 card at the bottom so far, so that's fine. And the player with the most expensive card in hand places 1 dilemma on top of the deck and 1 on bottom. Wow. That is crazy. So 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. Okay. That was not nice. That was not very good. So now I have 3 dilemmas in here. Okay, maybe I should get rid of the minions, because the dilemmas will probably be worse and worse. Player 1. Okay, so we don't have any attack, nothing to attack with. Let me just equip these 2 here, and then I have 3 fuel. Let's see. Deal 2 damage, and I can discard a card to increase the damage by 2. That is actually pretty good. I will take this one. Alright. So, whose turn is it then? The boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so the boss will start. Another dilemma at the bottom of our deck. And 1 damage. I should have gotten rid of that one. But I can do next. I can do that next round. Then we draw another card. That's a minion. Activate. If any player has 5 or more corruption, I don't. The Homeworld suffers 4 damage. Otherwise, the Homeworld suffers 2 damage. Okay. It's not great, but I guess we can work with that. Okay. So, then it's our turn, hopefully. I mean, it has to be. No, it doesn't have to be. Okay, so I deal 2 damage and 2 damage to a minion. So, let's get rid of that guy here. Or gal, probably rather. There we go. And then I would deal... Oh! I would do it differently. I would deal 2 damage to this minion, and then 2 damage to the other one. But first I would use the blaster to deal 1 additional damage. So I would do another 2 damage here. So that was a little bit confusing, but I think that hopefully made kind of sense. Okay. So, and then we will equip a few things. Oh no, first we have to solve a dilemma here. Choose one of the following. Discard 3 cards in hand. Or deal... Oh, I really don't want to do that. Or deal 2 damage and advance your corruption. I really want to be careful with the corruption, right? But dealing 2 damage is pretty okay. But then again... I can also just discard that stuff here. Right? Oh, that really is a dilemma. But the corruption, I will never be able to heal that, I think. So I will discard 3 cards in hand. I will do that. So I will discard this and these 2. And I will equip that one here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and now there will be 3 dilemmas then. Oh man, the turn after that will be horrible. Okay, so let's see. 2, 3, 4. I do have 6. I could power up twice here. And then I would have 2 less. 2 left. Okay. I know what to do. I will spend... Give me a second. I will spend 2... Oh, I put them here. 2, 4... Oh, wait. Okay. So, first I will attack. So I will deal 2 damage. I will do that here, like this. And then I will spend, I have 6 fuel, and I know what to do. I will spend 4 fuel to power up. Then I will use that ability to get another scope token. By the way, with that scope token, I would have completely obliterated that minion. I need to think of that. That's something else to think of. I hope I won't forget again. And then I will use this one here to these 2 to power up again. And that card says if I have 1 power or less, I power up again. And then I will use these 2 power. I will power down twice in order to finish that up here. Okay, we are getting there. We have 4. We have 2 of 4 scope tokens, and also here we're close to getting there. I need to now buy a card that costs 5 or more. That would help a lot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, a lot of dilemmas. So that will be pretty bad. And it should be now the boss's turn, right? Yeah. So the boss cannot draw a card, so the boss will level up. So what does the level up do? Instant. Minions in play gain 4 health. Okay. The Aeon. Each player plays the dilemma on top of their deck. Okay. Will do. And now minions enter with 4 more health. Okay. That is pretty crazy, but we do have more cards now. Okay. This is a pretty cool boss again. So I still need to think about how I would rate them, but I think this is probably, let's see how it continues, but I think this is the coolest boss. Then is that Volt Fusion, right? With all these little minions that I have to find. That was pretty cool. And then the first and the third boss are pretty much both on rank 3. They're both good, but there are better bosses. That is a strike. Your fault. Any player advances their corruption 3 times? No. Or the Homeworld suffers 4 damage. Yeah, let's do that. So for the Homeworld is still fine. So yeah, I would definitely not do 3 corruption. Alright. So then let's shuffle the cards. And as usual, hope that it will be our turn, but well, I don't know, I can't always be lucky. I'm not. So let's draw a card. That is a minion with 5 plus 4 health. That is 10 health. 9 health, I mean. That's totally crazy. And that is a minion we haven't seen before. Any player discards a card and suffers 2 damage. Ooh. In terms of health, we're not looking too good. Alright, so then it is our turn. Now we have 3 dilemmas to solve. Lose a slot or power up twice and advance your corruption twice. Powering up twice is pretty nice. Okay, I might want to do that actually. The other thing would be discard 2 cards, which I can hardly do. Or gain a card from the supply and place it into your hand. Advance your corruption a number of times equal to the cost of the card. No, definitely not. I would definitely just discard 2 cards. So let me discard these 2. Okay. The player with the least corruption suffers 2 damage, or reveal the turn order deck, return it in any order, advance your corruption twice. No, I will take that damage for now, hoping that I can heal that. And here lose a slot or power up twice and advance your corruption twice. Then we would almost lose, right? But powering up twice is really valuable. Losing the slot is bad. You know what? I will power up twice and advance my corruption twice. I will try. I will try if that is a good idea. I do not know, to be honest. I definitely do not know. Okay. 3, 4, 5. That was a pretty bad turn because we did nothing. Alright, and it's our turn again. We have another dilemma here. The Homeworld suffers 2 damage, or return a card from a discard pile to your hand and advance your corruption. No. Let's take that 2 damage here. Okay, so I will equip 2 weapons here. I have 2 fuel. With that, I will just power up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is the boss's turn. We are having this boss is quite tough. Any player discards a card and suffers 2 damage. Okay, and with that, we're almost exhausted. And I've hardly touched the boss. Wow. Okay, discard 2 cards. Well, discard that power core, I guess. And discard this one as well. Okay. And then we draw a card, which is a strike. Creeping Guild. Any player plays the dilemma on the bottom of the deck. Oh man. The Homeworld suffers 2 damage. Okay, that is pretty tough. Can you even beat that solo? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that's our turn. Let me just have a little bit of tea. Unfortunately, it's not warm anymore. But that's the way it is for those long recording sessions. I would like to do that. Like discard a card that costs 5 or more, but I can't do that. Is there anything that I can heal with? I don't think so, no. That is pretty bad. So I have 2, 4. I would have... Oh, I have another... Wait. Oh, I need to attack first. I first need to do damage. I would do 2, 4, 6 damage and another 1 damage. Yeah, that's good. 6 and another 2, 1 I said, right? Yeah. Okay, that works. That is not too bad. Okay, could be worse. Then I will equip that one. And I have 4 of these. I will, I don't know if it's clever or not, but I will actually power up once. Then I will use my ability to gain another scope token. And then I will power up again. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I will just do it because, well, I have to do something, right? Okay, I'm saying that every time, but this time it's really not looking good. Man, I don't know. It's the boss's turn. That means we discard a card and suffer 2 damage. So we're exhausted now. We are now exhausted. So you lose 1 damage actually, and then the other damage I would receive is doubled and directed towards the Homeworld. So if I receive 8 more damage, we're done. Oh, and also I need to discard a card. Yeah, okay, let me discard this one. Yeah, I guess. Okay, that is pretty bad. Okay. And then we draw another card. A strike. Shuffle the dilemma deck, and then I need to place 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. I don't have a deck, so I just put 2 dilemma cards there. Oh man. What does he play here? I'm not quite sure what the play here is. I should try to get the relay dagger into my hand. That would help a lot. Then I should get this done and should get these 4 scope tokens. With that, I could deal 12, 15, 27 damage at once. But that's still not like a whole lot, right? I mean, I'm not sure. I am not sure. Okay, dilemma here. Destroy a card in your hand. Destroy. Oh man. Or discard power that costs 1 or more. Or destroy a card in hand and advance your corruption. If I advance ever my corruption, then I lose immediately. So I will have to destroy a card in hand. That is okay. I will destroy that. Oh no, that costs 1 or more. Oh, then I can't. I can't do that. Oh no, that means I would lose. Then I have to destroy 1 from here. Oh no. This one. Either I lose or I destroy that one. So, well, well, of course, I would then destroy that one. Oh man. This is bad because I haven't bought too many cards. I haven't purchased too many cards. Oh, but before I would do that, I would actually attack. So that is 2 damage. Okay, well, I guess I have 3. I can't really buy anything with that. Oh man, I'm doing really, really bad now. I can power up for free. Yeah, I will just put this one there. I will power up for free and then power up once more with these cards. And well, doesn't look too good. I have 2 dilemma cards. Oh man, this is pretty tough. I thought I could have like an expedition run where I win all 4 battles. I have won the first 3, which is good. But I would have liked to win the 4th as well. But it looks kind of tough. It's a minion with 8 health. Activate. Any player places a dilemma on the bottom of the deck and suffers 1 damage. Yeah. Okay. So, and now it will be our turn, and I have 2 dilemmas to solve. The Homeworld suffers 2 damage, or return a card. I cannot do the second one because I can't advance my corruption. So the Homeworld will just suffer 2 damage, which is not a dilemma anymore then. Same thing here. I will have to do this first thing that loses 3 health here. Oh man. I'm not sure we can still win. I don't know how. I've hardly touched the boss. And I still have only 3 fuel. What should I do with that? There's nothing to do with that. I will just power up. I'll just power up once. And get my 4th scope token. I mean, that's something. And I think I forgot to add. The damage to my last attack, right? Well, that's too bad. I really need to keep these scope tokens in mind, especially because I could combine them with my combo here. So, oh man! But let's do it from now on. Okay, so I do have a few weapons. That is nice. I will attach these 2. And then I would have 3 fuel again. That's nothing. Oh man. But you know what? I will use these 3 fuel to just gain another slot. So I can also put this one there. It doesn't really do a whole lot. But 3, 4, 5. But it's better than nothing, I suppose. So let me please go next again. Please. Alright, there we go. So now I would do 4, 5 damage, 2 damage, another 2 damage, and 1 damage. So a lot of damage. So I would definitely destroy that one here and deal an additional 2 damage to Eternity. Yes, I'm touching the boss again. And I did more than 5 damage, so I can take a card from my discard pile into my hand again. And these will be discarded here, right? So that double shot might be nice. Yeah, I will just take that double shot back into my hand. So now I'm finally working with my synergies here. Alright, just way too late. Let me equip all of that stuff. Alright, so 2. So I can power up once and then 1 more time for free with that card. I have another 3. I cannot power up completely. With that 3, I will 1, 2, 3. I would have 5 here, and then need to discard a card that costs 5 or more, so I could get this one. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this one. I'm not going to power up. I will do that later, but I think that's a good idea. I think that's a better idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, next turn it's gonna be the boss. Alright, let's see. Strike. The Homeworld suffers damage equal to the corruption of the player with the most corruption. I have 2 corruption. So that is 9. Okay, that's a pretty cool card. Oh man, that's not looking good. It's our turn. Okay. So I would do 2 4 damage to Eternity and 1 to a minion. There is no minion. But okay, 49. That's something, I guess. I have dealt only 4 damage, so I cannot do that thing there. Okay. Also, I made a mistake buying that card. I should have gotten my relay dagger. That was a big mistake, which would cost us dearly now. 1, 3. Actually, I still have a lot of stuff here. So I will actually use 5, spend 5 to get the relay dagger as well. And I can place it into my hand immediately, so I can immediately equip it. That is good. Okay, actually, that was fine. I lost like 1 turn, but in terms of damage, but that is okay now. Could have been worse. Okay, and then it's the boss's turn. Let's draw a card here and see. That's a minion with 9 health. Activate if any player has 5 or more corruption. Not the case. So the Homeworld suffers 2 damage each turn. Alright, so that one needs to be gone as soon as possible as well. And it's our turn, so we deal 4 damage. I will deal that damage to that minion here because it needs to be gone. And also I will discard a card to get that back into my hand. Like this, I think. Yeah. Actually, I only have 3 slots anyway. But then again, that doesn't really help us. So I'll get that in my hand. We'll put that back. Equip that one as well. Equip that one as well. Then I have 2. I have 2 fuel. I will power up once. And then This one I will keep in my hand, I think. Yeah. 3 and one more. Like this. Okay. So now I'm getting to the rhythm. I took way too long. I made a few mistakes on the way, definitely. So, okay, Eternity is beatable. I just haven't gotten into the rhythm yet. It's the boss turn again. That's pretty bad because the Homeworld will actually lose 2 more health. And it's Eternity's turn. Hissing Whisper Strike. The player with the most corruption plays 2 dilemmas on top of the deck, and I will also suffer 2 damage. 2 damage to me is 4 to the Homeworld instead, and 2 dilemmas at the top of the deck. And I think that's pretty much it then. Player 1. Okay, it's me. I can do 8. I can do 9 damage. I'll do. Oh, I forgot this again. I'm so stupid. Okay. Oh man, so you're witnessing a playthrough where I like forget everything. Alright, so 2, 4, 5. I will deal 1 damage plus 4, that's 5 damage. So this one is gone. Then I will deal 4, another 8 damage here, down to 41. I will actually discard a card to put this back into my hand. And I will also use this ability here that lets me take a card from my discard pile back into my hand. And then I will discard this one here. So now I have powered up my team attack completely. And now I can use it. And I will use it immediately. That means I will just put them all down here. And I will get the reward, which is dealing 12 damage. So that is 29 then here. Okay, I forgot a few things. I made a few mistakes. But I'm actually getting there now, which is not too bad. So I will equip these here. I will equip all of those. And I have 2 here, so I can power up once for free and once with these cards. So that is okay. Then we can deal 15 damage here. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. It now depends on what the dilemmas do and if it's our turn or not. It is our turn. That is good. Now I need to do the dilemmas here first. The Homeworld suffers 2 damage. That would work. The player with the lowest health suffers 2 damage. No, then we lose. That's 4 damage for us and 4 damage and 2 damage. 6 damage to the Homeworld. So the Homeworld would actually be destroyed by Eternity. Oh, that's a shame. Because if it had been our turn now, we could have dealt 5, 7, 11, 26 damage. Yeah. We then almost would have won. We would have dealt now 26 damage within 1 turn. And then the next turn we would have dealt 4 damage and then we would have won. So these two, if these... Oh no, actually the boss would have come up anyway. So we would not have been able to win. That is a shame. That is a shame. But yeah, that was my last playthrough of the Astro Knights Eternity expedition that is included in the game. So that was a pretty tough battle. Unfortunately, we lost. But I made a few mistakes at the beginning. Had I not made these mistakes, I probably could have won, actually. Right? So I forgot my combo several times. I got this 1 turn too late, 1 turn earlier. Like, let's say this 1 turn earlier, and I should have defeated a minion a little bit earlier as well, and maybe had a bit more luck with the deck here, how it was shuffled, then I could have won. But Eternity is definitely beatable. Definitely is. So it didn't look like it at first, but it's definitely possible. So yeah, that's it. So 2 more things we do before I wrap up the video. First of all, the post-fight 4, I will read the story, and then we actually unlock a few more things that I will show to you afterwards. Alright, so usually if you lose, you would fight Eternity again, right? But I will just treat this as a win anyway, just in terms of the story at least, right? Not in terms of my stats, because I want to finish reading the story, and then I will actually show you what we unlocked. Post-fight 4. Enough! Eternity's glowing face is contorted with rage. Enough! The test is over. Did we win? Sana looks over at Rex and then bounces up on her toes excitedly. We won! We won! You did not win, Eternity snaps. I could see your hearts filling up with corruption. You are flawed. You are unworthy to hold this mantle. My team succeeded by the parameters you yourself outlined, Z.A.K says. You cannot change that after the fact. We passed the test. I can do anything I want. Eternity's hand suddenly tightens again, the fingers closing around the bobcat, threatening to crush it like a little paper toy in its fist. Your test was flawed, Reshi says, boldly unafraid of the fact that Eternity could end them all at a whim. You claimed that our actions were selfish, corrupting when we supported ourselves and the team, but that same teamwork was the key to defeating you. We balance what we need with what others need. Someone who only ever exists for others can't help anyone if they burn themselves out. Excuses! Eternity shakes its huge head, but suddenly Caleb sees it not as a terrifying monstrosity, but more like a child having a temper tantrum. How can you possibly measure up to the Astro Knights? They were the best that ever existed. They were selfless, without flaw, dedicated only to defending the universe. You are pitiful against them. You are disgraceful. You are unworthy. Maybe so. Caleb steps forward and rests a hand on Reshi's shoulder. She looks over at him and smiles. And he smiles, shaking his head helplessly. Who would have ever thought they'd end up here? You're right, we're nobody. But that's the point. We could have been anybody because everybody has the capacity for greatness. Caleb lets go of Reshi's shoulder and takes another step forward, meeting Eternity's gaze without fear. I used to agree with you, Eternity. I thought I was just a single human and a scrapper to boot, living on the underbelly of society. I didn't think I could be any more than that. And when Z.A.K gave me this star core, I didn't think I deserved it. I wasn't exceptionally good, or exceptionally strong, or exceptional in any way. What right did I have to be an Astro Knight? Oops. Now I'm messing everything up here. Good job, Sir Thecos. Caleb spreads his hand out wide. But then I realized that the Astro Knights aren't about a group of exceptional superheroes saving the universe all by themselves. They're a symbol. They're a choice. A choice to step up and try to help, to try to fix things and save people, and to inspire everyone around them to do the same. The universe needs the Astro Knights, not as a miracle, but as a reminder to reach out and help make things better. Whether they're the best person in the world or just a nobody scrapper who always dreamed of the stars. Reggie slips a hand into Caleb's, squeezing it tightly. We are the Astro Knights, Rex calls out, grabbing Caleb by the shoulder. Shield bow. We are the Astro Knights, Pan agrees, stepping forward to stand shoulder to shoulder with Sana. These are my Astro Knights. Z.A.K turns to look out the cockpit window at Eternity, the whole team standing strong behind them. I choose them. Very well. Slowly, Eternity's hand relaxes, freeing the ship from its grip. But no, I will be watching you wherever you go. Bring it on, Caleb answers, grinning defiantly. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Alright, cool. I actually like the story here. Congratulations, you have completed the expedition. Well, kind of. So, it says here that we do have the end deck here, right? So I will take a look at this one, so we can see what else we unlocked. I think this is also like mainly like the randomizer cards and stuff, because there are like boss randomizers in here and hero randomizers. And should also be like for the first game, I think. Yeah, see, exactly. And you see here, here are like bosses. These are like the boss randomizers. And these are like, these that you haven't seen yet. These are from the first game, right? The randomizers. And then, why are they several times in here? Oh, you can have the different battles, right? These are all the boss randomizers. And then we have like all the hero randomizers, right? So you see, these are like the heroes from the second game here now. And these are the heroes from the first game, actually. From the first Astro Knights. Right? You see, like, Z.A.K is there twice. Once for Astro Knights, once for Astro Knights Eternity. So these are all, like, the randomizers here. I will sleeve all of those as well and put them into the box. And that's it. But yeah, that concludes my entire playthrough of the expedition of Astro Knights Eternity. And I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching all these 4 videos. I really appreciate the time you invested in watching this video. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate every single one of you. I'm thankful for all of your support. I especially want to mention my patrons who are very generous by supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much for that. The biggest shout out goes to Thecos, who's currently the most generous supporter at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. You can support me in numerous ways. You can watch my videos, like them, comment below them. You can subscribe to my channel if you like my videos enough. You can also support me on Patreon, and you can also join my Discord server in case you would like to hang out with me and my truly amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video or on my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers!